You are watching the New American Media. Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. My name is Brian Engelman. Welcome to thenewamericanmedia.com. This is the Agree to Disagree program on this Friday, July the 6th, 2012. 2012 indeed. It is an interesting time to be alive. In fact, the Mayans talked specifically about December 21st, 2012. You've been curious what that means? Are you not really sure if you're supposed to expect something or brace for something, or if it's a whole lot of nothing? Or if you feel something going on and you're not really sure what it is? The Mayan culture was talking about this. Well, today we're going to be joined with Dr. Jose Jaramillo. We're going to be speaking with Dr. Jose Jaramillo about the alignment within, a documentary that he has been working on. We're going to take your questions if you're listening to us on YouTube. Thank you very much for finding us. Please click subscribe. And you will get notified when we have our new upcoming shows. Thank you very much for checking out our sports show, The Unhappy Hour, as well. Getting a lot of NBA feedback. That's our sports show. But for right now, it's time to agree to disagree.
You are listening to the Agree to Disagree program on thenewamericanmedia.com.
Welcome, everybody. Once again, thank you very much for joining us. If you're watching us on YouTube, please do us a favor. Click subscribe, and then you'll get all of our updates. If you're on Twitter, find us. We are at American_media_. And, of course, our home base is thenewamericanmedia.com. I want to welcome our sponsor for today's show. It's Three Black Cats. Three Black Cats. It's a new small business. Why don't you think local, buy local, support a new small business, put people to work. Create some jobs. This is a new company. 3blackcats.storeenvy.com is the website where you can find them. You can also find them on facebook.com/3blackcatsstudio. They make homemade organic herbal products, body lotions, body butters, coconut, lime, lip balm, peppermint lip balm, other healing products. Coming out with a lemon ginger and an orange clove line of products. Then they have really cool earrings and stuff. So basically, guys, if you're out there and you never really know what to get your girlfriend or your wife or your mom or your grandmother, any significant woman in your life, the store is really cool. Check it out. You can always buy a few things, put it in a box, and when it's time for an anniversary, when it's time for a birthday, when it's time for a gift, you have a box of really cool things that girls are going to like. Hair products, hair accessories, really cool belly dancing, fire dancing kind of stuff going on there. So I want to thank our sponsor, 3blackcats.storeenvy.com. That's the number 3blackcats.storeenvy. There's one E in envy, STORENVY.com. Thank you very much for being a part of the New American Media. Thank you for the sponsorship, and we hope that you will go out and consider purchasing some of that stuff because they're making this all possible. And what is possible? You know, the alignment within. This is a documentary that Dr. Jose Jaramillo took a part of. He helped create this, and it's talking about ancient cosmic knowledge. Dr. Jose has been the host of a radio show in San Diego, California, called Ancient Mexico. Gives lectures and workshops on the Mayan calendar, numerology, a whole bunch of different stuff. And we were very happy to have Dr. Jose Jaramillo on our program. It's been a long time. It's been since March. So we are going to reach out today and communicate with Dr. Jose Jaramillo. And if you have any questions, please send us a direct message on Twitter at American_media_. That's going to be the best way to find us. So without any further ado, we're going to bring Dr. Jose Jaramillo into the program. Hello, Dr. Jose Jaramillo. This is Brian Engelman with the NewAmericanMedia.com's Agree to Disagree program. We are live on the air, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Brian. Thank you so much for the invitation one more time.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I talked to you, I think it was back in March was the last time you were on the program, and I said, you know what, we should have you on once a month as we head toward December 21st, 2012. And you're a busy guy. You've been traveling all over the place. You want to introduce yourself to our listeners and kind of talk about where you've been traveling and what you've been doing all around this hemisphere.
Yes, well, my name is Dr. Jose Jaramillo. I'm a professional lecturer and an author and a film director. So, I've been a little bit busy doing part of the 2012 On the Road tour. We're being in Boise, Idaho, in Denver, Colorado, also in Las Vegas, and also in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Also, we spent some time in our sacred journey on back in June for the Venus Transit ceremony. So we're being in different cities here in the United States and in Mexico, doing the tour for the movie The Alignment Within, and also doing Mayan calendar workshops and lectures about exactly how people can empower themselves by the use of the Mayan calendar. That's what we've been doing for since February, since we met, and this is a busy year for us, Brian.
Yeah, absolutely. With 2012, you have a few months left before December 21st, and we can imagine there's a lot of people interested in that. You see it on television, you see it on Twitter, on Facebook, people are talking about it, and I guess let's just get right into it now, because we met at the Conscious Life Expo. This was out here in Los Angeles, California, and you were working on the alignment within. So let's kind of just dig into it right there. Let's start about just kind of give an overview of what this project is, because you worked on this with a couple other people, and it's an interesting documentary that's going to sum up a lot of things. What can people expect with the project?
Yeah, well, The Alignment Within is a sequel of a first documentary that we did back in 2007. And the first one, Between Two Worlds, was more about showing the differences between the Gregorian calendar and the Mayan calendar. How we disconnect ourselves by allowing the Gregorian calendar being part of our lives, and the way that the Gregorian calendar, which is the calendar that most people use for commerce worldwide, is that we humans, we are treated as a tax producer unit instead of being more in connection with nature and who we are as spiritual beings. So The Alignment Within is more now, the sequel is a documentary that every people that we know are following the Mayan calendar, and they sharing with us and with everybody who will watch this film about how by using the Mayan calendar they all agree that there is no better tool to align yourself not only with the energies of the universe, but also to aligning yourself with everything, with everything that is around us, and of course finding your inner alignment within, which is the most important of all. It doesn't matter if we align with the December solstice sun in December 2012 if you don't align within yourself. So that's what this movie is all about, is sharing with the world that the Mayan calendar, especially the 260-day calendar, the sacred calendar, which is our gestational cycle, is one of the most important of all, because it connects us back to who we are and explain step by step our gestational cycle. We still don't know why why we humans, we celebrate our birthdays every 365 days, when in reality our spiritual and gestational cycle is about the 260-day cycle of the sacred calendar. I think that that's the cycle that we should honor instead of the 365 of the solar lunar calendar. So that's what this film is about.
So if we do the math on that, you're talking about the gestational cycle. That's pretty much, if you imagine a female pregnancy will take about 9 months, give or take 30 days in each month. 30 times 9 months is about 270, 260. So that's what you mean by gestational cycle, is that it's roughly about the time it takes to cook and produce a child, a human being.
Exactly. And the beauty of this, Brian, is that the way that I always explain people in the workshops or at my lectures is that we are truly the reflection of this calendar system. Because, when you take in consideration that the 260 day of the sacred calendar is made of three main components. The first component is the tone or the number, which go from 1 to 13. And this tone or number describe your feminine aspect of creation. Okay, it goes from 1 to be the unity, all the way to 13 to be the ascension. And also the 20 are the 20 Mayan day signs, which are the archetypes. And this 20 Mayan day sign describe our masculine aspect of creation. So when you put together the 13 and the 20, any of the 20 Mayan day signs, you have a complete person, because we all have the yin and the yang. We all have the masculine and the feminine energy. And the third component is the key number, K-I-N, which in Maya means day, which basically, is the position that your Mayan day sign has within the 260-day cycle. Now, we all know, if we are smart enough to count what is the number of main joints that the human being has in their physical body. And we will know that we have 13 main joints, and that we have 10 fingers and 10 toes for the 20. So externally, we have the 13 and the 20 frequency of natural time within our body, the 13 main joints and the 20 fingers and toes. But now, if we go deep into our biological composition, we know that the helix of the DNA is spiral 13 times, and that there is 20 amino acids essential for the life of a human being. So not only externally, but also internally, in our biological composition, we also have the frequency of, which is the 1320. And not only that, but it's extremely interesting how now, out of the 100 trillion cells that we have, all humans in our body, there are only 260 different types of cells. So I think that the Mayans, they were truly a scientist, because they knew that we were connected with not only with the cycle of gestational cycle, but also that we all had this composition, this frequency of natural time within ourselves. So that's what is the beauty of understanding the 13 times 20 of the sacred calendar, and that's what we feel that is really important for people to know, because I think that what the Mayan calendar gives us is the opportunity to understand time, but time more perceived as a consciousness, just like each of the 20 Mayan archetypes describe one aspect of our human or our nature conscious. So that's what I see, and what is fascinating to me when I teach this is that it's a calendar that connects us back to nature, that connects us back to who we are, you know, and especially to honor that spiritual gestational cycle of roughly the 9 months that we spend in our mother's womb. That's what I feel that is the beauty of this calendar.
We're talking with Dr. Jose Jaramillo. Dr. Jose, I want to jump back to something you said about the Gregorian calendar and the humans now becoming a tax-producing unit. Before we move too much further, I wanted to just ask for a little clarification on that, because that's an interesting comment, and it's probably a little nuanced. So if you could elaborate on that point, that humans have gotten away from something, and now the human beings are kind of looked as a tax-producing unit for a state, and can you just expand on that a little bit?
Yes, of course. You know, well, first of all, I just want to, you know, we always talk about the Mayan calendar, the calendar, right? But I don't think that the Mayas, they never used the word calendar. The word calendar comes from a Greek word that is kalenda, and kalenda means the book of the collection of the money. So when we pay attention, you know, to all human history, and we see that if you want to control or to have your people control under one thing, I think that the dead center of any civilization revolves around the calendar. You know, if you want to keep people productive, if you want to keep people not paying attention to what is going on in the world, if you really want to have people just working for you, what you need to do is just put a calendar, tell them what day it is today, and tell them that they need to go to work from Monday to Saturday, and sometime they will need to pay their mortgages, and some payment will do in a certain time. So unfortunately, that's what it becomes, a human being, a tax producer unit, because we are the only ones in this planet that, since the time that we get born, all the way to the time that we transcend and it's time to drop our physical body, we are the only ones that we pay to get birth and we pay to die. You know, animals, they not even pay for sewer, they not even pay for electricity because they don't need it. You know, they don't pay for anything. If they want to go poop, they do it right there in nature. Of course, it's not the way of we should be doing it, but there is ways that we should not be paying to have sewer and have all these things. So we become a tax producer unit just to make Hallmark more rich every year, so every person can buy their new calendar every January 1st. So I think that we need to pay attention, you know, that this calendar, the Gregorian calendar, when was of course established around exactly on the night of October 16, 1582, by Pope Gregory the 13th. So if you take into consideration that we all are living under the Pope's calendar, you know, and people doesn't realize that we're living under the Pope calendar. You know, when we go to the Museum of Time in Geneva, we can see how, you know, this little metal ball dropped into space was the beginning of the mechanical time. So now we live in a clock time, you know, where people is always rushing to get to one place to the other place, and people forget or disconnect to be more in a natural cycles. So I think that this, at the end, at the long term, can affect, you know, the human psychic, because we were born to live free and independent, and not to live by a mechanical watch, you know. So I think that is extremely important to people to understand, and the Gregorian calendar, you know, which is the calendar used worldwide by most of, you know, especially for commerce and for businesses. So now we're living under this calendar, and people not even know that, you know, and then every January 1st, you know, be ready, be prepared your income taxes, and then you have a deadline which is April 15. So and instead of following something more with more rhythm in the universe, with better harmonics, with better understanding of who we are. So that's what it makes tremendous difference between the Gregorian calendar and the Mayan calendar. And just to know, even people that have another way of religion, but I just want people to let them know that whether you like it or not, whether you're Jewish or you're Muslim, of course, they have also a lunar calendar, but the most impact calendar in the world that everything revolves around this calendar is the Gregorian calendar. And as long as you follow this calendar, you're under the Pope's calendar, whether you like it or not. So that's what we need to know. That's the beauty of going back to retrieve and to see the beauty of the Mayan calendar. So we can go back to the source. We can back to understand who we are. So
we are talking with Dr. Jose Jaramillo. We're talking about the difference between the Mayan calendar, the Gregorian calendar. Well, we just got a question here saying that I thought the Mayan calendar was 10 months, and then they made another statement, kind of a question. This is coming in off of our Twitter account from Sam in Him, saying that the Bible states no man knows the end time, and obviously that's referring to this date that's looming, December 21st, 2012, and a lot of people have been talking about it. So I'll tell you what, Dr. Jose, we're going to take a quick station identification break here, and we'll come back on the other side, and we'll get into those issues and more. If you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, please click the little subscribe button, and if you're not following us on Twitter, we are at American_media_. We'll be right back talking more Mayan calendar, December 21st, 2012, and more with Dr. Jose Jaramillo here on Agree to Disagree on the new AmericanMedia.com.
You are listening to the Agree to Disagree program on the new AmericanMedia.com.